So today we're going to be looking at the SBCs. There is quite a few that are just now in the bin, really, more so than anything, but we have had a few days now of some lovely end of eras, and we'll go through them and see who is worth doing, who's worth the miss out, and is there any icons that you should complete. So if we go straight over to foot bin, if we go over to the icons, we have got, so what, nine icons left, starting with our boy Eusebio. Now, you've got a few days between them, obviously 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, all the way up to 1 week. Only 1 week for Van Persie. They really are just putting SBCs in and then just dragging them out. We've still got Thuram and Owen coming in longer than we have got Van Persie. So it's always interesting to see where they're going with this next step of SBCs. If I was looking at the icons realistically, what I'm thinking personally would be something along these lines. I'd go a miss on Persie, unfortunately. Some of them are going to be cheaper than others, but you've kind of just got to go with what you personally want at this point. And I think a lot of the icons are due an upgrade at some point soon. I'd even say at this point, I mean, Eto'o could still get in. You got to think the main kind of thing in now with a lot of these icons is, can they go into an Evo as well? When we do look at Zico, with a 92, we have seen lower players get an Evo at this point. So he has got a potential, as you can see, to get up there into a 94. So could he be a possible worth doing that, even though he has got a 94 already? Again, I don't personally rate the card at the price as well, so that's another thing that you've got to throw in. At 550,000 coins right now, if you've not already completed him, there would always be a reason. So you're not really going to go for him at this point. Mainly the people that we're looking at is going to be the likes of Drogba, Eto'o, Thuram and Van Persie. Eusebio, I think, still comes in as a solid amount. You obviously will get him as an Evo at some point. So I do think for right now, I wouldn't necessarily go into a must complete with him. But as a decent value goes, you've got to think realistically, if he gets a 96, 97 upgraded, he's still going to be very expensive to try and get unless we get to the end of the game. And obviously then it's like a 99 footies version. But we've got a few weeks, maybe a month or two until we get into that anyway. So decent value for right now. Owen was quite cheap, to be honest, 270. Still would probably miss out. I don't know if I'd quite call that fodder. There's definitely cheaper out there, in my opinion. And then we kind of go into the boys. We've got Thuram, who I think is excellent still. As a right back, he definitely could have been, from the very start to right now, still one of the best right backs we've got. We have got a lot of option now since he did come out, but he still holds his own and even closer to that evolution as well. I think Drogba at 580, don't know if I'd quite say decent value, but with the right Evo, if we think of a potential quadruple playstyle plus, a finesse shot potential, going up to a 95, 96, that has got some potential in it. Kind of same with Eto'o at 790. I would go the same. I don't know if I'd go quite decent value. At this point, Eto'o's definitely a solid card, but he's been out a while and he's still available in packs. At least with Thuram, with Eusebio, with Drogba, they are not in packs, whereas Eto'o still is. And then we have our brand new Van Persie. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. This is the first icon with a quadruple playstyle plus on him. He's coming in at 730, so a decent start already. When we do look at him individually, obviously he's got a fair few SBCs, but the main thing that I'm kind of looking at with a lot of these end of eras is the fact they've only got 1 week in there. Two weeks, obviously, like finishes on the 20th of June. It's always interesting to see cards like this where I'm like, why? What is coming? Because genuinely, you've got icons that have been in there for months. You've got Thuram still available. You've got Owen still available. And I get the time frame might have changed. They might have a different idea. But I just don't understand why he's only got 2 weeks. He's got literally to the 20th. So he's got, what, 11 days 11 days to get done. That seems quite quick for an icon. Now, granted, we are at the end of the game. There is a lot of repeatability going on, so you should be able to get him done pretty quickly. But it always begs the question of what's coming after, because do you wait? As a card, finesse, tick, rapid, tick, low driven, tick, first touch, tick. A perfect striker playstyle plus. I think realistically, unless you're liking quick step over rapid, I think first touch is fantastic. He's got the shooting stats. I mean, what else could you like? He's got a 5-star. He, for me, is one of them cards I would recommend highly to try and get done. And I get sitting right now, that is incredible. We are in the middle of Ultimate Team of the season. Next week it could be different, because we could have many other quadruple playstyle pluses coming in the shapeshifters, which will obviously alter the view of him. But for right this second, he's a great striker to get into your team. Which then throws us on to the very minimal amount of players that we've got. If we go over to the SBCs again, we've got three fodder players really. This is the fodder that we're talking about, 25,000. You're looking at, 60k, 65k if you go for that. Between three of them, 93, 92 and 94 rated. Fantastic value for the fodder option. This is why Owen at 92 is just not going to be there at 287. So they're going to be the remaining team of the season SBCs at the moment. And to be honest, you just throw a bit of fodder into them and they're all good. The main four we are looking at are here. Starting off with a Lauren James. Now she's coming in one rating lower than her team of the year. And to be honest, she definitely is better than her team of the year. She's coming in a little bit more expensive, but 200 is still fantastic value in my eyes. She's obviously got the triple playstyle plus, but she's got the triple that you need. Finesse, rapid, low driven. Perfect. As a striker, as a right wing, absolutely excellent. I'd say the only thing that you could do if you're going right wing and you're adding a quadruple, maybe an incisive or something, or if you go for like a Travella going for the outside in, that's possibly the only extra that you could add from her. Stats wise, she's just as good. I think for me, she is absolutely cracking value. For 200k, she's definitely worth a look in at the minimum. Then if we kind of savour a little bit of De Bruyne, because he is butter. But Müller is always an interesting one, because he's never really fit into the game very well. He's always had a solid card. By the end of the game, 95, 90, to be fair, FIFA 23 dropped a little bit, 91, 94, and then if you went prior to that, he has always had an excellent ending card. This year is no different. It's an end of an era for him. It has been a long old journey. If you've played a lot of FIFAs, you know he's been pretty much in everybody. From Schweinsteiger, Xabi Alonso partnership, just everybody's had, even to then the Gerd Müllers and all of them. He is, and Mandzukic, if you can remember him at Bayern. There's been so many levels of Müller to get links in. He obviously came through the chemistry link era, and he has been exceptional. Now, playstyle plus wise, I mean, as a cam, rapid's fine, low driven. Low driven is a hard one because it does require him in being in the box a little bit, even though you can do it slight outside, it's not really going to test too much. The finesse would have been nice, but incisive, fantastic. Press proven, could have been a pinged pass maybe as well, or like I say, finesse to go for a more shooting cam. Got the stats, could have done him with a 5-5 really. Now this is the hard comparison that we've got to make, because flashback James is a flashback. We know she could get another card. End of era, do they get another one? Do they get a footage? Do we see a 99 De Bruyne? Or is this it? That's the big question you've got to ask yourself. And I think De Bruyne and Modric could be safe. Whether Müller is going to get a 99, is he going to get a further footage upgrade? Or are you going to have to go with an Evo? Because if these are not available, no more upgrades at all, then possibly all of them could be worth doing to get them that Evo. If you really fancy it, to be honest. Müller in himself, I would go... To me, if I was taking End of an Era out of it and thinking this is just one more card, he's obviously got the quadruple, fantastic. I think 1 million coins, it's decent. It within next week will go down to okay. I think as 1 million, because he's one of the own at the moment. There's very little amounts of cams with a good quadruple, great stats, and available as an SBC, or even available in packs right now, that you can actually get. Like, you're not packing a Bellingham or someone like that. That's not happening. So this is going to be your best chance to get a quadruple playstyle plus cam for an SBC. So that's going to be the big one. But there is two other midfielders, and this is what makes it really difficult for someone like Müller, when you've got the likes of Modric and also a KDB there. Modric, on the other end, he is obviously coming in a bit cheaper. We've got him at 880. Now, he is more of a centre mid vibe. He's got the anticipate. He's got technical, incisive, pinged. I mean, if he wanted to get, like, if he got a finesse, if he got an intercept or something along them lines to get maybe defensive pass and shooting rather than the technical, that could have been the best scenario for him. Now, I do think for the value that you're getting, he is exceptional in himself, especially with the links that he will provide for the Real Madrid lot if you don't have any icons in there at the moment. Stats-wise, like Müller, absolutely perfect. I think he is a brilliant, brilliant centre mid. Now, I don't think for me he is the must-complete centre mid here. I will obviously spoil it and say Kevin De Bruyne has always been the guy. He's always been that person you want to get in the SBC. From the 94 we got during Team of the Year was incredible and carried us the whole way through to Team of the Season. And this is going to carry us all the way home as well. Finesse, incisive, pinged, long ball. Could have maybe got an intercept or something if you wanted to be really, really picky. But there is 5 playstyle pluses, remember. So there is a potential to give him that full centre mid vibe. Now, obviously, he's got incredible stats across the board. 5-star, 4-star again, so you're going to have to look for a 5-star skill at some point. But if you were to throw the anchor on him, you got 94, 94, 99, 95, 91, 92. Incredible. Genuinely incredible. A 98 centre mid in game is absolutely perfect. Like I say, if you can get a 5-star skill, you can get a little bit of an upgrade from an evolution at some point, but then a 5 playstyle plus or a 5th playstyle plus, that is for me one of the perfect centre mids that I'll happily evo to 99. So, without question, he's the most expensive, but for me, he is the most worth it going into this. The other two are still incredible. I don't think there is any kind of shame being one under Kevin De Bruyne, in my opinion, but I do think that would be my list going into it. Now, we hopefully will get a few more SBCs coming this Friday. We're going into Shapeshifters, Heroes and Icons will be back, and we've got 3 weeks of it. Let me know down below, how are you getting by at this point? Make sure you like and subscribe on this one, though, and I'll catch you all for the next. Peace.